Now we're going to have a look at your insights and your analytics from your Instagram stories to work out what's working, what is engaging your customers and getting the results that you want, and what isn't, so that we can help improve your content and get more and more engagement as we go along. So to start off with, I'm going to click on my current story, and down at the bottom where it says seen by the number of people, I'm just going to go back to the first one. I'm going to click on that seen by, and what that does is it brings up some of my analytics for this specific section of the story. So I can see the number of interactions that, again, it's just this specific section, the number of actions that have been taken. So that might be somebody clicking on something, replying, different things. So 21 actions taken from this story. Replies 1. I didn't ask a question, so often you don't get that many replies when you don't ask a question. That should go up. Then sticker taps. So I added some stickers in. I had a Kensington Olympia location sticker, and I had Jewellery London because I was at IJL sticker. So 18 people on that. So it shows the breakdown of my interactions. Then it shows how many accounts were reached, impressions, and this part I find really interesting is the navigation. So it shows how many people went backwards. So backwards is often a good sign because it means they were interested, they kind of wanted to see that content again. So particularly if you're doing a host of stories in a row and somebody goes back, it shows that they kind of want to look at that bit again. Forwards doesn't mean much because we're always going forwards pretty much as we're flicking through stories. A lot of people fast flick, so forwards is kind of just the standard. Then next story is interesting because that shows that those people were not interested. They wanted to still look at stories, but they didn't want to look at the stories that I'd put up. So it's not about taking it personally, but it's about understanding, okay, so out of 531, 80 people didn't want to see a story about this. So that's, important. That's information for me to take forwards. And exited. Now, exited, again, I don't think means too much because people might have just been busy, got distracted. They've realised they spent way too long on Instagram stories and came off. So the ones that I really look at are next story and also backwards. So backwards I see as something that can be quite positive, like they want to go back one. And next story is like, no, I don't want to see this. I want to see something else. So just some interesting stats. Again, never take any of these things personally. It's not about that. It's just about how can we improve? How can we make sure that we're getting the best from the content we're putting up there and give our customers the best service that we can. So if you look on the bar kind of towards the top end of the screen, I can click on 531, the impressions so far for this story, and see the people that have looked on it. And at the top, you can also see that this story has been featured under the hashtag IJL 2018. So where it says that at the top, 5 views, if I click on that, it will show me the hashtag that I'm shown under. So that's why it's really good to put hashtags into your stories, because this story got featured on that, and that doesn't always happen, but it's always an option. So it's a good idea, especially a niche hashtag like that. It's really good. It's a great way of getting new people. Only 5 viewers, but every little counts. So that's really, really useful information. And as I go along, I can flick through my stories and see each one what happened in terms of interaction. If I've asked a question, did I get any answers? So you can only do this while your story is up live. So it's a really useful thing to be able to do. And again, like here, I featured a jeweler. I can see how many people have gone through to Yvonne Knight's jewelry. Lovely jeweler, lovely jewelry. So I can see 27 people have clicked through to that so far. So just really useful bits of information about what people are liking, when they're leaving. So when they're clicking on to the next story, and what is working well. So if I come out of my stories, what about for older stories that I have already posted? Well, if you look on the top menu bar where it says Jewelers Academy, and then I've got a bunch of different things. If I click on the little graph, it's the second from the end. That's my insights. And then if I click on content, and you need to be on a business profile for this, so please make sure if you're not already, get yourself on a business profile. If you have a jewelry business, you definitely want a business profile. Then if I go down to stories, I can click see all. and it only shows me for 14 days. So if I click on where it says showing impressions, it gives me the option for impressions, reach, forwards, back. I can select what I want. If you've got an account with more than 10,000 followers and you're able to link, you can see what's happening with your links there as well. And you can select, how many. I always want to see the most, so I'll go for 14 days. And then as I scroll down, I can see just the little number of how many impressions each story got. So again, you don't want to drive yourself crazy with this, looking at it all the time, but it is useful every now and then to say, okay, this one did really well, this one didn't do so well. And try and analyze what you think that is. Is it the time of day? Is it one was the first story and there was a whole bunch of them, so people clicked off? If so, why are people clicking off? So just little things like that, really helpful for working out what's working, what our followers want to see more of, and how we can share all of that. So hopefully that's been helpful. A quick little tour of the insights. Have a look at yours. If they're not set up already, do get them set up, and we can start looking at how we can improve things for your followers to make sure that more and more people are reaching, seeing what you're putting out there, and all that lovely content that you want to share with the world. All right, bye for now.